Hi, guys, and welcome to Town Time with me, Mark White. And with me today is a trick shot artist all the way from Mexico. It's Javier Gomez. How you doing, Javier?
Hey Mark, long time no see. Doing great, pal.
It is a long time. The last time we met in person, well, the only time we met in person actually, was just after COVID. I was quarantining in Mexico City. I reached
Yep.
out on Facebook. I was on my way to Vegas. I reached out on Facebook and you very, very kindly got back to me and we started chatting on Facebook. We met up in Mexico City at that amazing carom and pool room in Mexico City, which I hear has since closed. Is that right?
Yeah, I did about almost 2 years ago. Actually, December 31st of last year, it closed down. They opened a new pool room, a little smaller.
Ah,
Yeah, actually, they did open it's called Black Ball Club, something like that. And it's run by the same people, by Fernandez sisters.
yeah. Now there's a great story, isn't there? Because that pool room was very, very famous. I vividly remember this glass case, almost like a shrine with waistcoats and cues and balls. He
Mhm.
was a very famous carom artist, wasn't he?
Yeah, Gabriel Fernandez, he was a three cushion world champion from Mexico. Great inspiration for a lot of us. I mean, he was my teacher actually for a long time. And I mean, he was a great person. There was a lot of people just going to the pool hall maybe to just have a coffee with him and talk for a while. They didn't even play, but they were just talking. He was a great guy and inspired a lot of players.
Yeah, it certainly felt very special in that place. Like when you walked in, you felt like you could feel the history in that room.
Yeah, exactly.
That
And well, it was something really nice. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, they make you feel like home, even if they don't know you. The way they treat everybody who walks there, it was amazing.
Yeah, I remember the two daughters, and
Hmm.
they all gave me such a wonderful leaving present and gave a little party for me, prepared some food that I just got treated so so well there. And I'm really happy that they've opened a new place because when I heard that that one had closed that I went to, what was the name of that again?
Felinos, Club Felinos.
Yes,
That
Felinos,
was,
exactly.
hmm.
Yes. So when it closed down, I was kind of a little bit sad that it had gone, but you've just made my day and made me really happy to know that they've opened a new one. And I'm guessing they've got all their father's shrine there, the glass case with all the stuff again.
Yeah, yeah. You need to come back to know the new place.
Is it
We'll be
far
waiting for
from
you.
is it far from the other place?
Not really, probably 20 minutes away.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, not that
So
far.
so look, we're here for Town Time. You are a Town sponsored player, and we'll get to that
Hmm.
a little bit later. But I'd just like you to tell uh, the viewers, if you would, when you first picked up a cue, what got you into cue sports? Did you
Okay.
did you start in trick shots or did you come via snooker, pool, carom? Just tell us a little bit about your history.
Well, first time I picked up a cue, we were in a social club. I was with my uncle, my aunt, my cousins. It was very hot outside. I remember that they were on the pool. It's like, no, that's too much for me. So I went inside the clubhouse and I just listened the balls click. And it's like, what is that? Just turn around and just the sound was something like magnetic to me. It was like, okay, I want to play. That was about 13 years ago. Sorry, 13 years old, more or less. And I just got a cue and watching the other people how they were holding the cue, try to play a little bit. Then I started with Gabriel Fernandez in Mexico City. I mean, he was huge. I mean, he was very famous on TV, actually. So he's a huge star. I mean, everybody, even if you don't play billiards, everybody in the 80s, 90s, they knew who was Gabriel Fernandez.
That
So he other club he used to have was very close to my place. So I just went there and started playing. And I started with pool, then moved to three cushion. And then I started learning from him. I was taking classes constantly. And he told me that I had a really good stroke, that I should try maybe a little artistic billiards. I mean, he showed me some shots. I mean, just some basic shots. And I was hooked. I was like, whoa, a ball can do that. I mean, that was something new for me. It's like, oh, it's amazing. How can the ball like make some curves and repetitions on the cushion or whatever? So then I start getting involved with artistic billiards with players like Roberto Rojas and other national players, learning from them, trying, yep, to get the best out of it. And then it happened. I moved to LA, and Mike Massey was a huge star.
yeah.
He was on ESPN, and I mean, I saw Mike Massey shooting the circular draw shot,
Oh, my
and I
favorite.
was like, yeah, my favorite too. I was like, whoa, I want to make that shot.
Do you
So I
know,
started practicing pool. Mhm.
just on Facebook today, I've just shared it. I'm not sure if I shared it to you as well. I can't remember. There was a guy playing Temple in the Philippines, and he actually played a circular draw to get back for the
Oh,
Temple.
nice.
Yeah, and it's anyone that knows. I mean, I love commentating on the Trick Shot World Championships on the artistic pool. I think you guys are just so talented, and it's. I've always thought of it. It's like a comedian telling a joke. Here's the audience laugh. When you pull off a really good shot like the circular draw or through the window, or one of
Hmm.
those fabulous shots that you guys play, to hear the applause, that must feel great, right? And it's really strange that you mentioned right at the beginning, and so many people tell me the same story, where the first thing they hear is the click of the balls, and it's kind of that attracts them to it. And I can remember
Yeah.
exactly the same thing that got me interested in it. But that little quirk of fate where all your family are out in the swimming pool and out enjoying the sunshine, but it's just a little bit too hot for young Javier Gomez. So he decides to go into this room and then completely changes your life.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was a turning point for me. Totally.
So can you remember did you first play league pool, like eight ball or nine ball, 10 ball, or did you then concentrate 100% on artistic pool?
At that time, when I started competing, it was eight ball, the main game. I won a lot of tournaments around the city, Mexico City, for like six, seven big tournaments. Then I started playing in other states, playing constantly. I was a good player. And then I moved to the States to try to do it as a career. And California, um, I was kind of lucky that I found some three cushion tables as well. So I was practicing both games at the same time. So everything that involves a cue and both. I love snooker. They used to have two snooker tables. It was called Shooters, a place I used to play at. So I used to practice at least 4 hours of snooker, 4 hours of pool, and the next day maybe 6 hours of three cushion, and try to play everything. I mean, because I feel like each game helps the other. and it
Yeah,
helps you develop a stroke.
yeah, it's good, isn't it? It also teaches you the tactics and you learn, like the angles from three cushion can help you escaping from snookers in pool
Mhm.
and in snooker. Just out of interest, what's your highest break at snooker? Do you know?
Highest break was 114,
Wow. So you can
only
play a bit.
once. Then the next one was 87, and I never reached to even 60, I guess, again.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's snooker, I believe, the hardest game of them all, where
Oh
you
man.
have you have to keep at it all the time. And I think snooker's one of them games where you can't really switch between pool and trick shots. You know, if you're on snooker, then you have to concentrate on snooker. I think that's why we
Completely.
don't see so many snooker players turning to pool, because it's just such a, and the other way, of course, as well, because it's just such different games, aren't they?
Yeah, even they're very alike. I mean, the speed, actually, the cloud is more slippery, I feel, in snooker. The way you need to stroke the ball is not like follow through. It's just like stuck the ball. I don't know. It's a bit very different way
Yeah,
to stroke the ball, to aim,
yeah,
but it helps you sometimes in different situations with pool or three cushions. So I like to learn the most I can from every cue sport.
but I have a little bit of a conundrum for you here. Should I, if I was to say to you, okay, Javier, you can only play one cue sport from now on. You're not allowed to play any more than one. Which one would you choose?
Snooker.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, I didn't expect you to say that. I expected either carom or eight ball. What is your favorite rotate? Do you like to play American eight ball? Is that kind of your game there? I know it's quite a famous game all over the world. Is that big in Mexico?
Mhm. It used to be. Now it's Temple. Right now it's Temple. I mean, they try to go with the motion of like what is playing around the world. My favorite is straight pool.
Ah, okay.
I love playing a straight pool and practicing it. Gives you, I mean, you need to be patient. You need to learn how to read the table, a lot of strategy, combining a lot of different speeds in the cue ball, maybe to leave the ball exactly sometimes where you want for the open shot, for example.
Mhm.
Bless it. So I love it. I mean, it's very tactical. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think straight pool, it's never really taken off as a spectator
No.
sport, because it's, as you said, you enjoy practicing it, and I've spoken to a lot of pros who use 14-1 straight pool as their practice game, because it kind of has a little bit from all the different pool disciplines. So it's very good for training. But
Hmm.
I recently interviewed Earl Strickland, and he came up with a really good idea where I believe it was, if you get to 40 points, you stop, and then your opponent has a go. If he gets to 40 points, it then comes back to you again, or until,
Hmm.
if you miss before 40, obviously your opponent comes back to the table. And I kind of thought that was a, a better idea, because and it's something that I think I might watch then.
It's kind of fair for the game, and it's not that bad. Like kind of like playing like innings, maybe. Like I got my inning, I got 40 points, then your turn.
Yeah, it gives you a
Will be kind of
chance,
interesting.
gives you the chance, doesn't it, to see both players. I mean, it's a bit like billiards in the old days when, you used to get guys making 1,000 break, and fans used to turn up just to watch somebody just tap in two balls all the time. And
Exactly.
it was a bit tedious. So,
Yeah, whoever wins the lag makes the 100 points and wins the match. Is not fair for the other person.
yeah, kind of just a lagging contest then, isn't it? So, look, we are here because this is town time. and on behalf of Taom Billiards, I do these little interviews with all Taom sponsored players. You are a Taom sponsored player. What chalk are you actually using at the moment? The blue? Have you got the new blue V10, or are you still on the
I
green?
haven't get it yet. I can't wait to have it in my hands. I use the regular V10 to play pool and tree cushion, and for artistic, believe it or not, I use the snooker one, the really soft one.
Okay.
I use that one for artistic pool because I go more like to the edge of the ball, or and it gives me like I don't know. I feel like I get more spin, a lot of spin with that chalk. I'm not gonna use both of them, but I love it for artistic and for regular play. I mean, with the V10, sometimes I can play one rack or two, and I don't even remember I was chucking the cue. It's amazing. That's something amazing.
Yeah, and it's of course we all know it stops the skids and also keeps the cloths nice and clean.
Very
There
clean.
is a very interesting um, story I heard the other day about a snooker club. I believe it's in Newcastle in England, where they've actually banned players using any other chalk other than Town, which I
Wow.
found very interesting. And you know, they'll give you a piece of towel. You can rent a piece of towel, not rent it, but pay a deposit for it, then give it back at the end, just to make sure that everyone uses town because it keeps the cloths cleaner. And of course, if you keep them cleaner, the cloths longevity is even better.
Hmm.
They're having to replace cloths less and less and less. And something else I noticed as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember going home and my mum, as a youngster, going home and my mum says, "You've been down that snooker hall again. Look, all your hands,
Yeah.
your pockets are all blue and green, and I can't get it out. It ruins my washing machine." And
There's a little
now,
mark other pool players we will have always in our pants,
yeah,
right
it's
below the waist, that will tell you were in the pool hole. Always.
yeah, exactly. So look, I wrote a little rhyme, believe it or not. We're just going to go back. We're going to go back to you in a second, but I just want to read this little
Awesome.
rhyme very, very quickly, right? And
Okay.
it goes like this. There's nothing worse when you're on the crucial ball. You missed the shot, but did nothing wrong at all. You struck the ball perfect, but the angle threw flat. But there is a solution to alleviate that. Get some town chalk. I recommend V10, and this will stop skids from happening again. But it takes two players to make up a game. So unless we convince all the other players, we'll get more skids the same.
Nice. Like it.
It's true though, isn't it? Because unless both of you were playing it with the same chalk, then you are going to get your other player, your opponent who isn't using it. You're going to get those marks on the cue ball, right? And on the cloth. I remember watching. I think it was Chinese eight ball recently when none of them were using town chalk, and it was like going back and watching snooker in the 80s when you remember you used to see all
Oh yeah.
these sprays of chalk all over the table where the players have been
Oof.
deep screwing back and
Especially with
stuff.
Jimmy White.
Yes, exactly. And it was him playing. It was actually his 1984 match with Kirk Stevens at the
Semi-final, I think it was.
it was it was in the semi-final of the
Yeah.
Masters 1984 at the beautiful Wembley Conference Centre, which is actually no more now. They knocked it down.
Oh
But
man.
anyway, so listen, are you still practicing very much? Do you
Yeah, I
find
do.
time?
Yeah, I do. I try to at least practice 3 times a week, no less than 4 to 6 hours per practice session.
Wow.
Yeah, I try at least, I mean, Sunday. sometimes till starting noon up to 8 p.m. sometimes. Maybe 1 or 2 days around maybe Wednesday. Sometimes I go playing a little bit. But I'll try to keep it at least between 10 to 12 hours per week minimum right now.
Because you hold down a full-time job as well, right? You got a really good job with Marriott Hotels, I believe. You still with
Yeah,
them? Yeah.
yeah, still with them. Yeah, I
Okay.
work from home, but I mean, still working from home. So there's a lot of jobs. So
Ah, that's
sometimes
good.
my schedules, yeah. Yeah, actually, I moved from Mexico City to another city nearby, probably like 3 hours away. They have really good pool halls here. So that's one of the reasons why I moved here. And also, well, we bought a house. My wife and I, we bought a house some years ago. So we're finally here. But yeah, I'm trying to practice as much as I can. I'm still trying to make it to the World Championships pretty soon. Trying to fix my visa papers.
Ah,
Because yeah, everybody for
yeah,
artistic.
in February, right? Next year in Bay City,
Hmm.
Michigan. Are you going to
Yeah, I'm
go?
hoping to make
I'm
it.
trying to go as well.
Oh, it'll be great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got my invitation. Like, I mean, I have Brian Paul and everybody all the time just typing. It's like, "Are you coming? Are you coming?" It's like, I'm doing my best.
So listen, apart from that, are you doing any trick shot shows? Are you playing in any tournaments still at the moment? Playing some
Mhm.
eight ball maybe? Tell us what you're doing pool wise at the moment.
Eventually, some shows, uh, some pool halls, some private shows. Playing tournaments eventually, like probably once a month, twice a month, sometimes some local tournaments.
Okay.
So I'm trying right now to practice a lot of artistic. I mean, in case I go to the World Championships, this time is mine. I know it's
You're
going to be
ready.
flooring, it's going to be wheel, all of them, but this time is mine.
There, that's good to hear. I remember actually another thought's just come back to me. I remember trying one of your cues. I think it might have been your masse cue, and I could hardly lift it. It was so heavy. That's just a memory that stayed with me.
Yes, 26, 26.
It's like a workout at the same time as practicing. It's a
Yeah,
workout.
especially coming from a snooker that you use 18, 17 ounces.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So look, I'd like to run through some very, very quick questions, and
Sure.
if you can remember, give me just one word answers. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. Javier Gomez. We're going to give you a 1 minute on the shot clock. Okay. What's your best ever victory?
2013 Bangkok Artistic Pool World Champion.
Wow. Favorite player to watch?
Dennis Orcolo, definitely.
Wow. He's just gone into Chinese eight ball a lot now. He's only playing Chinese eight ball. Since he can't go to America, he decided to concentrate on the Chinese eight ball, and he's doing really well. I think he just recently had a
He's,
quarter final, right?
oh, yeah, I was watching that. Yeah, he's amazing. He's a great player. I mean, he has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
It's
No
amazing. Actually,
one
I mean, all the Filipinos, but Dennis Orcolo, I watched him live, like playing big money matches. He's amazing. The tempo he has, the way he controls himself and the ball. Oh, man, he's crazy.
truly loves it, doesn't he? He's one of those players that as soon as he finishes a match, he's straight back on the practice table straight away. He just like he doesn't do anything else. He just loves it.
And he never gets tired.
No, I don't know how he does it. I'm not sure how old he is now. He must be 50, isn't he? Is he 50?
Probably around 50s. Yeah, maybe. He's a little older than me. Yeah, it's around 50, I guess.
What's um what's your favorite shot to play, Javier, in artistic pool?
Circular draw. The
Good
circular
man.
draw, definitely.
It's just a
That's the best
sexy
shot. I
looking
mean,
shot.
everybody. exactly. And requires a lot of technique. I mean, you can shoot it in practice 10 out of 10 times. When you're in competition, it becomes very, very difficult.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
one
tell
of
you
those
what.
shots you really have to take a breath, deep breath, and concentrate and just stroke it the right way.
What is the secret to that shot?
First, I think it's the setup of the ball, the way you line it up. I try to play like three-quarters of the ball, and then the stroke should be very light on the back with a very fast, smooth stroke, and just need like to snap the ball, just like snap it right in the bottom, so it spins a lot. It actually jumps a little, touches the cushion, and then all the spin gets back and throws back. But you need to take also in consideration, since you put a lot of spin, there's some deflection on the ball, on the first ball. But that also comes into consideration when you're setting up. You need to adjust that because every table plays different. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy shot.
No, it's not. And probably one of the reasons I love it so much because you don't see it every time in a tournament. You don't always see a successful circular draw, but when you do, it's just like, oh, just
And
the
everybody goes crazy.
yeah, the pinnacle of everything. Actually, I think I saw it in the last tournament I did, the nationals recently. I think Tim Chin did it. I'm pretty sure Tim Chin
Hmm.
did it. Okay, going back to rotation, do you agree with the golden break? Yes or no?
No,
Best player in the world right
it's
now?
luck. So
Yeah, it's luck. Yeah.
for me,
Fedorgorst,
Freder Garcia,
what do you like about him?
he keeps it very simple. He plays very simple pool and he jumps amazing. I mean, he's probably the best jumper right now around.
Yeah, I would. Oh, just knocked my microphone over. I was going to say I would agree with that, but since he changed Q companies, he went from Q Tech to 360, and since then I wouldn't say struggling with the new equipment, but he's getting used to it because
Hmm.
he's helping with the research and the development of it. So he's producing this Q. So he's using a lot of prototypes at the moment. So I don't think he's actually using just one Q like he was using
No, probably not
he was using the Q Tech
for years.
Propel for years, right? And he just got used to it. And he was just a complete wizard with it. It was like a magician using his magic wand, it was just amazing. But I think he's lost it just a little bit recently, but I'm sure he'll get it back. And
But he will
uh,
he will get there again. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he has a lot of courage and he has talent. I mean, he's a natural born talent for pool.
yeah, and this is the kind of thing that I can't get my head round with Fedor. He's so talented, but he plays, as you said, so simple. You don't see any flair from him. You don't see any Jason Shaw or you don't see any
Hmm.
outrageous draw shots or he always keeps it simple.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some beauty on that one. There's a lot of perfection on that. I mean, it's amazing to watch somebody like going very aggressive on the table, like for example, like watching Steve Davis and Alex Higgins. And Steve Davis was perfection. Alex Higgins was man my favorite
Not.
player of. I
Yeah.
can tell for everything he was the best of everything.
And you look at things now like Judd Trump does with the cue ball. Alex Higgins was doing that years ago back in the 80s and
Hmm.
more with not such good equipment, slower cloths, under much more difficult conditions. Alex Higgins was doing it. I've
Smaller
recently,
pockets.
yeah, I've recently been coming across some clips of Alex Higgins, and some of the shots he played are just unbelievable with the technique that he had, which was everyone knows was awful, but it worked for
Hmm.
him. It worked for him, didn't it?
Yeah, he was aggressive. I mean, he was a bad guy of snooker, but he's like, I really want that trophy, and you can see how much he was playing to win a tournament. You can feel the way he was looking at the table. I mean, that's what I like a lot about him. Like you see, Steve Davis, he was always the same, like just standing up, chucking, and you don't see that. How can I say it? That courage on the players. That's what I like. For example, like Higgins, then he's on the table. He's playing a big money match. You see that aggressiveness. You can see he really wants to win.
Yeah, great competitor. Sadly missed. So sadly missed. So, what's on the calendar now for you, Javier? What's coming up next for you?
Right now, up to this end of the year, and hopefully next year World Championships. Then it's gonna be, I think it's like two shows in April, if I'm not mistaken, in north of the country. And then I hope to play the Masters. If there's gonna be a Masters, artistic pool Masters also,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it also next year. And trying to get a little bit more involved again in artistic billiards. Some players are already playing it. And actually, we got a world champion last year, David Gonzalez from
Okay.
Mexico. He won the artistic billiards championship in Turkey. So he's a really good friend of mine. I would like to practice with him and eventually probably, never know, go with him and play.
I always like to end by asking my guests if they can give a viewer a little bit of a coaching tip. What would you say to somebody now taking up Q Sports, whichever discipline it is? What would you say would be a really good tip to encourage them to make them improve?
My best tip, I guess, will be like practice, but try to like make it like how do you say it? Like you're conscious of what you're practicing, not just shooting balls and trying to pocket balls because everybody can pocket balls.
Purposeful practice, yeah, using that,
Try to miss, yeah,
because what a lot of players are
try to
doing
miss in
now
purpose.
try to miss on purpose.
Yeah, because then you know how to adjust the shot. For example, you know, if I'm aiming to the center of the ball, but I put a little spin, it will probably throw to to this side or this side. So you can know how much it would deflect with your stroke, because probably with mine is different.
Right,
So
experiment you're
try
talking
to,
about, right? Experiment.
mhm. Yeah, just get me in front of the pocket, aim with different strokes, with different English, missing purpose the ball from the pocket, and see how it acts, how it reacts, and then learn how to adjust that. I guess if you get to that point where you know how to adjust to the table and how to adjust your deflection, that takes you to the level above of your average pool playing.
Yeah, you'll often find, won't you, at tournaments, the players that adjust the quickest and the best to the
Hmm.
conditions end up winning the tournament. That's another thing that Fedor Gorst is very, very good at. He can adjust to table conditions very, very quickly. Finally, a mention to your sponsors. Give a shout out to your sponsors, and of course, how people, if they'd like to get in contact with you, trust me, guys, this guy is a super nice guy. Any questions you've got about anything Q Sports related, and if you're on your way to Mexico, I'm sure he can point you in the right direction. So
Give me a
just,
call.
yeah, just give people ways that they can get in contact with you, and give a mention to your sponsors as well, please, Javier.
Or Taom. I've been with Taom since the beginning, since they were just jump break tip. Since
Wow.
that point, I'm playing with Taom. I still use a jump brake tip. I love it. Actually, I just installed one a week ago in my jump queue. Um, I love the fusion tip. I mean, for me, it's the best tip I have found after trying tons of them. It adjusts a lot to my way of playing, and it's another for me. It's another round tip. I can play true cushion. I can play pool, and it feels the same. And the quality and the consistency from one tip to another. I mean, you can change the tip, and it will play almost the same as the previous one.
Wow.
And that's something I love about Town. I always tell people about Town, the quality of their products and how they stand behind that. It's been so many years, almost 10 years of Town products, and each product is better than the other. They always try to improve, but they keep
Yeah.
the same quality. I mean, the Town chalk can last you for a year sometimes, while others last you probably 3 months if you play regularly. And you will have probably 40% less miscues than you will have with another chalk, in my opinion, in my experience.
Yeah.
Especially with artistic that I aimed all the way to the edge of the cue ball. With a hard stroke, gives me the confidence that I can go all the way down a draw stroke, all the way to the club, and I will get all the spin in the ball. I mean, that's the way I feel with Tom. I got that confidence, that I will not have any miscues or any splits or anything. I just forget about it when I'm playing, and I think that takes a lot of pressure from a player.
I can I can imagine Jonas or Tony or one of the Taom owners, Mika, or and going on Dragon's Den. It's like where you entrepreneurs go on with their ideas. I'm sure it's called something else where you live, where you can go on and pitch an idea, and then you've got four people with
Okay,
lots.
yeah, Shark Tank. It's called
Yeah.
Shark
Oh,
Tank
Shark
here.
Tank. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We call it Dragon's Den, but yeah, Shark Tank, same as America. They call it that in America. So you go on to Dragon's Den, you say, "Yeah, I've got this great idea. Yeah, what is it? It's chalk for it stops skids and it's clean. It saves cloths. Okay, good. How much is it? $20. Okay. How often do they have to replace it? Oh, once a year. What? I'm out. Once a year. What kind of business model is that? But what a product, huh?
But you see people with 3 or 4 pieces in their cases. So they're not just carrying one, they're carrying like 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I think
town.
it's
Go on.
one of the most revolutionary products. I mean, let's put it this way. Snooker is like the most traditional game ever.
Yeah,
And making a product that 97% of the players are using because they know it's something that changed the game. It's amazing. I mean, especially with I guess with snooker players because they are very very traditional. You don't see like a cue ball with dots. You don't see a snooker player with a glove.
no,
I mean, and it's something that I feel it evolved completely in the game. Probably more you see more breaks, more centuries. The table is cleaner. The balls are cleaner. That helps a lot to achieve. I mean, and for the viewers, it's a great pleasure, I guess, as well. So
yeah, well said. Good note to end on. So you're on social media, you're on Facebook, right? Javier Gomez.
yeah, you can find me actually on Instagram and TikTok as Javier underscore Gomez underscore Villar, like billiards in Spanish. That's the way you can find me in either Instagram or TikTok.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll put some little ticker tape running underneath this with all your social medias on. Thanks so much for joining me, Javier. Good luck in 2025. Merry Christmas to you and your family in your lovely new house there in Mexico. Happy
Thank,
practicing. I still can't get my head around the fact that you're practicing 8 hours a day sometimes. Unbelievable. Your love for the game. I thought I loved the
I
game.
love it. Yeah, I
Wow.
really love it.
You too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Even more surprising that you're still married. Does your wife play?
Um,
Does your wife play or not?
she likes playing. Yeah, she likes playing.
Ah, that explains it.
But sometimes she says like, okay, if you go to the pool hall, then you come back, you're not stressed at all. All the stress from the week, from your job or whatever goes away. So sometimes she's like, why don't you go play a little bit? It's like, okay, I'll be back.
Ah,
It's
brilliant.
also good
That's
for her. She
lovely.
loves it.
That's lovely. A
She
lovely.
supports me a lot. She supports me a lot. So that's amazing, I guess. It's not an easy. I mean, I don't play as much as I used to as a pro player, but still, I think stuff probably in the spouse of a pool player is not that easy.
Guys, go and check this guy out on all his social medias. He really is a talented guy. He's got some great videos, some great content on his various social medias. Thank you so much for joining me, Javier Gomez. It's been an absolute pleasure. I could talk all day to you. I'm sure we
Oh
will
yeah.
when I make my way to. I'll either see you in Bay City, Michigan, in February next year, or I've got to come back to Mexico again because I loved it there. I love the food, I love the hospitality, and of course, I've got to go and see the new pool room.
Hey, I got a bedroom here at home you can stay at. So
That's
whenever you want
even
to come,
better. That's even
more than
better.
welcome.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're
Thank
more
you
than
so
welcome.
much. Thanks, Javier. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back with another town time very, very soon. Who will it be next? Aha, we don't quite know yet. Thanks from me, Mark White and Javier Gomez. Ta-da.
Thanks, mate.